Okay, hi, assalamualaikum everyone. So we have covered all the basic parts of you know, getting started with MATLAB, and also I have introduced you how you can define variables, assigning names, and also how we can define matrices in the MATLAB, and also a little bit about matrix manipulation. And today I want to introduce you into some useful built-in functions that we can find in MATLAB. Okay, so first, you should know that MATLAB uses function name that is consistent with most programming language. For example, let's say you can find square root for 2 here by typing this syntax. Okay, and you can also find the cos. Okay, yang atas ni tadi saya nak add square root of x. Okay, and maybe you now calculate cos dah, the sign. What else? Log. Okay, how about log? Okay, so log in MATLAB here, log here ni dia refer to as natural log. Okay, so kalau you nak calculate the log 10, you kena letak number 10 here. Okay, and then okay, kalau you notice all these function here, okay, the built-in function, okay, dia kena ada 3 elemen, which is the function name, the function input, okay, anything dalam bracket ni, and also the function output. Okay, so that's the basic of a function. Okay, tak kisah dia built-in function or user-defined function. Okay, any function should have these 3 main components. Okay, so this example here, these are all examples that show that function input used with a single input, which is a scalar input. Okay, so now we are going to see what will happen if we use matrices as our input. Okay, first let's define our matrices. Okay, so now I want to find the square root of A here. Okay, so dia akan buat square root. Dia akan find square root for each element. Square root of 4 is 2, square root of 9 is 3, and then square root of 16 is 4. Okay, so next, let's see some functions. Okay, so next, okay, let's see some functions that require multiple inputs. Okay, for example, the remainder function. So remainder is a function that returns the remainder in a division problem. Okay, for example, I want to find the remainder of 10 divided by 3. Okay, just type the syntax and then click enter, so you will get the answer 1. Okay, so now this function here require 2 inputs. Okay, and then okay, we have another type of function, which function that returns multiple results, okay, or multiple outputs output. Okay, for example, this size function. Okay, so size function can be used to determine the size of a matrix because it will return the number of rows and columns. Okay, let's define a matrix D. Okay, and then use the size function, sign it with variable f. Okay, so kita akan dapat f equal sign 2, 3. 2 here is referred to the number of row and 3 is the number of column. Okay, similarly, you can also assign name to this output. Okay, the way to do that is okay, type the syntax. Okay, so number pula. The variable name here. Okay, you can choose something that makes sense in the context of your problem. Okay, so now saya nak refer to number of row and columns. That's why I'm using this as my variable name. Okay, you don't have if for example you need to make complicated functions for your calculation. Okay, so MATLAB can also handle nesting functions. Nesting means to use one function as the input to another. Okay, for example here still we're using the example x equal to 2. So I want to find the square root of sin x. Okay, now you notice here ada dua function. Okay, first function is sin x, so second function square root, but the input for square root function ni is the sin x. Okay, so you can nest the function like this, or you can also do it separately. Okay, maybe b equals to sin x, and then 2 equals to square root of b. Okay, either ways will produce the same result. Okay, there's a lot of other built-in function in MATLAB. Okay, you don't have to worry if you don't remember. Okay, you can simply access the help documentation up here. Okay, so browse for mathematics lah kalau you nak see something maths example. Okay, maths and elementary maths, I don't know, and maybe discrete maths. Okay, or exponents and logarithms. Okay, so you boleh click once on it and dia akan tunjukkan syntax, description and also some example. Okay, okay, so here I'm gonna show you some of the useful or commonly used. Okay, these are all the maths example. Okay, on the left side here is the syntax, center here is the description of the function, and then on the right side here is the example. Okay, we also have rounding functions. Okay, and this is some example for that rounding function. Maybe you can try it on your own. Okay, so fix. Okay, fix is what? To round your input to the nearest integer towards 0. And floor is round your input to the nearest integer toward negative infinity. And seal means to round your input to the nearest integer toward positive infinity. Okay. Okay, we also have the discrete maths function. Okay, factorial. Okay, define factorial, factor, prime number. Okay, all these things. And then this is the commonly used trigonometric functions. Okay, sine, cosine, tangent. Okay, so kalau you nak cari inverse sine, it is a sine. Hyperbolic sine, sine h. Inverse hyperbolic sine, a sine h. Sine with degree input, sine d. Inverse sine with degree input, a sine d. Okay, and then okay, let's moving forward to data analysis function. Okay, built-in function for data analysis. Okay, so these are the example: max, min, median, sum, prod, sort row, standard deviation, and variance. Okay, let's try maybe several of these data analysis function. So normally because MATLAB can handle large amount of data, so kita normally akan guna matrices as our input. Okay, let's try to define matrices. Okay, now I want to find the max of x. Okay, max of x ni will okay, max function akan return the maximum value in this. Okay, because ni satu row je, in this row vector. Okay, the maximum value is 5. Okay, how about when we try to use that max function in a matrix? Okay, let's define the matrix. Okay, use max function. Okay, so when you use max function on a matrix, the max, you will found the max for each column. Okay, 2, 5, 6. Okay, maximum value ni is referred, the max answer here is referred to the maximum value for each column. Okay, so the first column is 2, second column maximum value is 5, and then third column maximum value is 6. Okay, and then the max function also can be used to determine where the maximum occurs. Okay, how to do that? Very simple. Okay, so we're going to use the same matrix here, X. Okay, this is how we define, we determine where the maximum occurs for a row vector. So the syntax is AB max X. Okay, so A is the maximum value, and then B shows the index number where the maximum value occurs. Okay, so A, maximum value 5 here, occurs in the second column. Okay, and then let's just do the common window first. Okay, so tadi example of maximum in a row vector. Okay, so now let's try an example of a matrix. So 1, 5, 3, 2, 4, 6. Okay, so this is matrix Y. So let's find okay, so here A and B we show, okay, A here show the vector of maximums, and B here show the vector of row numbers. Okay, so maximum 2 is at row number 2. Okay, 5 is at row number 1, and then 6 is at row number 2. Okay. Okay, let's see another example of a built-in function. Sorting. Okay, sorting. Okay, it is easy to sort data in MATLAB using the sort function. Okay, let's say we have a matrix here. 1 6 3 9 8 8 6. No, I don't want the number to repeat. Okay, so let's just sort X. Okay, sort, the default order is in ascending order, so dia akan sort from the smallest number to the largest number. Okay, but what if we want to sort in descending order, descending from the largest to the smallest? Okay, just type this syntax. Okay, so it will now sort the order descendingly by simply adding the word descend in the second input field. Okay. Let's clear our command window again. And let's see another example of sorting. Wait, let me find it first. Okay. Okay, so tadi kita sort for row vectors. Okay, so you should also know that you can use the sort command to rearrange the entire matrices. Okay, for example, here we have matrix X. Okay, 1 3, next row 2, next row 3 1, next row 82 4, next row 5 5. Okay, so you want to sort the entire matrices. Just type sort. Okay, so when we sort this matrix, okay, each column is sorted in ascending order. Okay, so each column, the first column ni 1 10 3 82 5, dia akan sort in ascending order. Okay, from the smallest, which is 1, up to the maximum, which is 82. And then this is for the second column. Okay, so using the sort function here allow you to sort the entire rows based on the value in the specified rows. Okay, so based on the value in the specified columns. Okay, for example, this one is kalau you nak sort the entire row based on value in a specified column. So you will just type this syntax, sort rows, okay, sort rows x1, okay, will sort you punya value based on the first column. Okay, but maintain the relationship between values in columns 1 and 2. Okay, you can observe that here. Okay, similarly, you can also sort based on values in the second column. Okay, by typing this syntax. Okay, so yang ni tadi kita sort based on first column. Okay, maksud faham kan maksud sort based on first column. So first column ni dia akan sort dulu according the default ascending order 1, 3, 5, 10, 82, and then y ni dia akan maintain relationship between column 1 and column 2. So 1 ni the initial relationship dia is dengan 3 kan. Okay, so there's 3 is with 1, so there's 1, 5 is with 5, 10 is with 2, and then 82 is with 4. Okay, so yang ni kalau you nak sort based on the second column. Okay, so the second column ni akan sort from ikut ascending order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yang the first column ni dia akan maintain the relationship. Okay, so 1 dengan 3, 2 with 10, 3 with 1, 8 with 82, and 5 with 5. Okay, harap clear. And then okay, you can also determine the matrix size. Okay, so yang tadi tu lah, yang size, length. Okay, for example, size X. Okay, ni number of row and number of column, and then length X is 5. Length ni refer to the biggest dimension. Okay, and then number of element of X is 10. Number of element lah 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 kali 2, 10. Okay, and then okay, how about standard deviation and variances? Okay, you can also calculate that using MATLAB. Okay, just type the syntax. This one is for standard deviation, and this one is for variance. Okay, yang here ni is the scale factor.